Good evening, it's Sunday, May 10th, and you're looking at a webcast of Beta as it awaited 6:27 p.m. Eastern Time launch from Pad B at Launch Complex 1 on East Coast. Welcome to join us today. My name is Eric Toney, I'm the data analyst here at iSpace. Today mission CS-01 is a dedicated mission for Alace Aerospace. The current objective of Alace Aerospace is to focus and develop some cheap and reliable ways to deliver spacecraft to orbit. In today's mission, iSpace will launch the company's next-generation communications satellite, ACOMS version 2. Currently we're just under 5 minutes from liftoff. The payload and rocket remain healthy. Now on your screen is the view of Beta, our 60-meter two-stage liquid-fueled launch vehicle, as it sits at Pad B at iSpace Launch Station on East Coast. The bottom two-thirds of the vehicle is the first. Its objective is accelerate the vehicle and payload through the DRU's atmospheres and then separate from the reed of the rocket. For today's mission the vehicle is brand new, so it's going to be the first flight for this first stage rocket booster. Tonight we're going to be attempting to recover this booster. This time, the booster will back at land on landing zone 1. If the booster successfully land, it'll mark the fourth Beta first-stage booster recovery. And if you look at the top of Beta, you'll see a nose cone. This is called the satellite fairing. It's a composite structure and protects the rocket from the force of ascent and also houses our payloads. And once the vehicle is outside the atmosphere, the fairing will separate to expose the satellites into space. Inside the fairing is the ACOMS satellite. After the first and second stage separate, the second stage will ignite its single vacuum engine to carry the satellite to the geostationary orbit. Separation from the second stage will occur about 8803 kilometers above DRU. The payload will deploy approximately 3 hours and 17 minutes after liftoff, so we'll close the webcast after second engine cut-off 1 or CS-01. But we'll continue share updates about this mission. And the video of payload deployment will be uploaded after mission complete. The mission team held a technical poll at T-2 hours, and our launch director held a propellant load at T-40 minutes. If we do have to call a hold on today's launch for any reason, we do have a backup opportunity tomorrow same time, pending range acceptance, and now propellant's loading is still currently underway. Beta uses the liquid hydrogen for its fuel and super-chilled liquid oxygen known as LOX for the oxidizer. Currently propellant is nearly fully loaded on the first stage and second stage over 1 million pounds. We're currently less than 3 minutes from liftoff. Beta is now moving into the final stages of the countdown. The vehicle remains in good health. All systems are go for launch. In terms of fuel, propellant loading has completed. The first and second stage are fully fueled with liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen. And also one thing you'll hear 1 minute before liftoff, you'll hear the announcement that Beta is in startup mode. This means that the rocket's own internal computers are now autonomously controlling the countdown. All the payload continues to be healthy. The mission team is tracking no issues on the rocket. And with just under 2 minutes to go before launch, Beta in startup mode. So now we've entered startup mode. Beta has taken over the remainder of the countdown. We're just waiting for the go for launch callouts and ready to lift off.
LD, Beta is go for launch.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Liftoff.
We're 40 seconds into flight. Beta has successfully lifted off from Pad B, carrying ACOM's satellite to geostationary orbit. Max-Q is the next major event coming up here shortly. Terminal trajectory, which will now be throttling down the engines, the IE-1 engines on that first stage. Max-Q is the maximum aerodynamic pressure that the vehicle sees on ascent. Beta through the Max-Q. And Beta is delivering the Alace Aerospace satellite to orbit right now. We just transitioned through Max-Q, and we be on the chillin' in the IE-VAC engine on our second stage. Trajectory is looking good so far. Coming up in about 30 seconds we'll have main engine cut off, MECO. That's where all 9 main engines of that first stage will shut down, and we'll see stage separation. Main engine cut off. And stage separation has been confirmed, and you can see the first stage there flipping back. Use the nitrogen thrusters, and
Stage 1 boost back burn started.
And the boost back burn of the first stage. Boost back burn will last about another 15 seconds. We use this to reorient the state back to East Coast and fly it back from all the forward velocity, head over the ocean. Right now on your screen is an onboard camera looking down from our interstage. Now that boost back burn was a 5-engine burn. Coming up we're going to have our entry burn, also a 5-engine burn, will happen just before 7 minutes mark. Fairing separation confirmed. And now we also had a successful fairing separation the second stage. Entry burn should be coming up in about a minute from now. You'll see 5 engines ignite at the base of the rocket. We use that to slow down all of the vertical velocity as the rocket is now falling back to the Drew's surface and accelerating. You're just turning and we're watching the first stage as it falling back to Drew and guided descent to landing zone 1. We have an entry burn coming up in about 10 seconds, 5 engine entry burn.
Stage 1 engine burn start.
We have shut down the first stage, and about 1 minute we'll have our landing burn begin. That landing burn will last for about 40 seconds. Landed burn gonna take us from going about 1,000 kilometers an hour right down to 0 on the surface of Drew. 4 landed leg will deploy about 10 seconds before landing.
Stage 1 landing burn startup.
It's a beautiful sight certainly to bring back another first stage. We'll be putting that rocket through some inspection and getting it ready for another launch for a future mission coming up in our very busy manifest for the remainder of the year. So with that, let's back to second stage. The mission has gone smoothly so far. And we have successfully on time liftoff and first stage landed. Next up will be the second engine cutoff 1 or CS-01, and the second stage will get an elliptic parking orbit. As a reminder, we'll close the webcast after second engine shut off 1 or CS-01. But we'll continue share updates about this mission. And the video of payload deployment will be uploaded after mission complete. Second engine cutoff. Nominal orbit insertion. And there's the caller. From Mission Control, the second stage vacuum engine has successfully shut down as planned. And we have get a perfect parking orbit. Around 3 hours from now, the vacuum engine on the second stage will ignite again. To increase its perigee, positioning the stage ready for payload deployment, as we mentioned before. We won't broadcast that or payload deployment, but we'll continue to share updates about this mission. And we will also upload the video of payload deployment after mission complete. And with that, that's going to conclude our coverage of today's webcast. So with the tweet to thank the Alace Aerospace as well as you, the viewers, for turning and watching us. If you'd like to keep track of our future mission as well as the progress of this mission, be sure to follow us on Twitter or check out iSpace website. Thank you for joining us today and see you next time.